A Marine faces an unexpected future.
I was struggling with a body that I didn't want. There were days that I wanted to die.
With his wife by his side.
God gave me the wisdom to make the right decisions or say the right words to him.
Plus, Mike Evans brings us an update from Jerusalem and the Friends of Zion Heritage Center on today's 700 Club Interactive. Well, good morning and welcome to 700 Club Interactive. Chicago Bears linebacker Jerrell Freeman is making some off-season news. He stopped for a bite to eat at the Austin airport before catching his flight back to Chicago, and he didn't have time to enjoy his brisket sandwich because a man a couple of seats over began choking on his. Well, Freeman used the Heimlich maneuver a couple of times. Finally, the man, Marcus Ryan, was able to breathe again.
When I put the guy down, he was like, "Oh my God, you just saved my life." Like, he was like, "Oh my God." He said, "I thought I broke his rib." I was like, "Well, either it was your rib or your life." That's all I.
He also said after the entire ordeal, the two men sat down and were able to finish their brisket together. And that's a wonderful thing to do. Always be aware of what's going on around you. You may be able to save a life. Well, an accident last year crushed Jamie Nito's neck, leaving him paralyzed. But the Olympic high jumper refused to let it crush his dreams.
I definitely like to thank God that I'm still alive. A lot of things come into perspective when something like this happens.
Well, specifically, Jamie was thinking about his upcoming marriage. Jamie vowed to his fiancée he would walk down the aisle with her. Well, he learned to walk again through intense physical therapy and built his muscles, and he started their wedding day with a walker. But after their vows, he fulfilled his promise to his bride.
I think I had a little anxiety just because I want to walk the best I could walk.
It was just a really special day to see him walk down that aisle and just to have him there on my arm.
Well, that's a wonderful story, an impressive comeback, and you can watch our interviews and past updates with Jamie on CBN.com. Well, here's our next story. It's not news that he walked on the moon 48 years ago, but what you might not know about Buzz Aldrin's groundbreaking trip, it included the Lord's Supper. Well, radio host and author Eric Metaxas recently blogged about how the astronaut read the Gospel of John and had communion. Aldrin later explained why NASA asked him to turn off the radio broadcast during the event. They were in the middle of a legal battle with American atheist Madalyn Murray O'Hair, and they wanted to avoid any press coverage. Well, you can find more on that story at faithwire.com. That's part of the history of those moon missions. I remember as a child, I'll never forget it. I'm watching the Earthrise over the moon, and here the astronauts are reading the first chapter of the book of Genesis. It was a wonderful moment. Well, where are you, God? It's a question we all ask at some point, just like our next story. For Carlos, a husband, father, and Marine, it was a quiet encounter with God that answered his question.
I wanted to serve my country. After what I saw in 9/11, and I was watching in the news the invasion of the Marines in Fallujah, and I said I should be doing that. So I joined the Marine Corps. Before 2010, I deployed Iraq 3 different times, and those were 3 combat deployments with 1st Battalion, 2nd Marines. In 2010, now I'm married. I have a family. Nairobi was 4 years old, and my youngest one was a couple months. May 16, 2010. I was getting ready to go on a foot patrol. Group of 19 Marines. We ended the mission, we're ready to go. And when I was walking, I stepped on an IED.
It was before the Father's Day and before our anniversary. I was on my way to the postal office to send my care package, and then somebody called me, and they just asked me, "Are you Mrs. Evans?" And at that moment, I know something wrong happened to Carlos, but I thought he was already dead.
Heard a big explosion. That's how I know I stepped on it. Both my legs got blown up. My left arm got blown up too. I started losing so much blood. I had 9 tourniquets in my body. I had 4 here, and one here. At that time, I wanted to die because I was going through so much pain. The Marine that was with me, he kept asking me, you know, what's your wife's name? And I told him, Rosemary. What are your daughter's name? I'm like, Nairobi Genesis. He's like, you're gonna go home to them. You're not gonna die here today. And that's the last thing I remember. I think 6 days passed by and I woke up in Bethesda, Washington, D.C. hospital. I opened my eyes and I saw my wife right next to me. But it didn't sink in what actually happened to me after I left the hospital. That's when I really had to adjust to life. I was struggling with a body that I didn't want. There were days that I wanted to die. I woke up every day and I'm like, you know, how can I die? And I had a lot of mood swings because I was taking a lot of medication. Some days I was in my room all day crying. I was thanking God because I was alive. But at the same time, I was mad because I didn't understand why, if I'm a Christian, this could happen to me. You know, why I'm going through so much pain. You know, where are you, God? You know?
My mostly prayer all the time, it was, God, give me the wisdom to make the right decisions or say the right words to Him or encourage Him and encourage my family, keep them together because I don't want to lose them. I don't want to lose my family through this situation.
I think 3 months after my injury, I go to the living room and I see my wife and I'm getting ready to tell her, I'm like, you know what? You should just continue with your life and I'll continue with mine. I'll just stay here because you don't deserve this. And she just looks at me, right, straight in the eyes. And she just tells me, I prayed to God to bring you back home alive. And you are here alive. You are my husband. And I love you for who you are. I am not a widow. And your daughters are not orphans. You are their father. She tells me, I love you for who you are. And I was like, no, you can't love me for who I am. Look at all my wounds in my body. And she tells me, it's the difference between you and me. I don't see your wounds, I only see your scars. And the scars are the evidence of who healed your wounds. And that is Jesus. And He's the center of our life. And we're gonna make it through. That same week, my wife told me, and we're gonna go to church this week. I haven't been to my church like six or 7 months. I had this moment by myself in the church. And I was like, you know what, Lord, I just don't know how to do this. You know, I don't know how to live this way. There in my heart and my mind, there comes scripture. You know, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. And I'm like, Lord, I have so much pain in my body. I have all these wounds. And right there, I look at the cross and I see Jesus. And I see His wounds, that He was wounded so I could be healed. And that was a big breakthrough in my life.
He was more positive. He was like more focused and more determined to change.
I started not focusing on what I don't have and focusing on the things that I have. And I started enjoying my life. Waking up with a smile and finding God's purpose behind all this. That God could use our scars to heal others. We speak to a lot of wounded veterans like myself. There's a lot of people out there that are going through a lot and they want to give up. And they need to see an example. So we share our lives with them.
Not everybody have a husband that lost both legs, but everybody have hard time. On my part, what I could say is ask God for wisdom. The only right decisions come from Him.
When God looks at you, He doesn't look at you as a victim, as crippled, sick. God looks at you as His son and as a conqueror. And when you look at yourself through that mirror, whatever looks impossible, it becomes possible. So I looked at this experience, I'm like, wow, this is a blessing in disguise because we have grown so much from it. I'm a better father, I'm a better husband, I'm a better person. And we're touching a lot of people through God's grace. So I don't regret it. If I have to go through it all over again, we'll do it the same way.
What an incredible testimony. Carlos Evans, what a hero. And his wife, what a wonderful Christian witness. The word in season, exactly when Carlos needed encouragement, she was there for him to say, I'm here with you. I'm not a widow. I prayed that God would bring you back, and he did. You, if you're going through tough times, if you're going through any kind of difficulty, we're here for you. And all you have to do is pick up a phone and call us, 1-800-700-7000. And if you need just a word of encouragement to say, I need to have a reason to go on, to make it through the day, we're here for you. We're not here to judge you. We're certainly not here to condemn you. We're here to tell you there's a God who loves you, and no matter how difficult things seem, he can make a way. So call us, 1-800-700-7000. Well, coming up, Dr. Mike Evans joins us to bring an update from Israel and the Friends of Zion Museum when we come back. Well, Mike Evans is the founder of the Jerusalem Prayer Network. 2 years ago, he opened the Friends of Zion Museum inside the city, and now he's beginning the museum's second phase, telling the world about the unsung heroes of Israel.
Dr. Mike Evans built the Friends of Zion Museum 2 years ago to honor and recognize those friends who have dedicated and sacrificed their lives defending the cause of Jews everywhere.
No one on this planet has done more to bring people to understand the importance of Christian people supporting the nation of Israel like Dr. Michael Evans.
Dr. Evans is excited to see the next phase become a reality, which includes a global training center, a research institute, and a social media communication center, which already has 25 million followers.
Oh, Dr. Mike Evans is here with us now. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
It's always a pleasure to be with you, friend.
Give us an update on Israel. We're hearing a lot in the news about the Temple Mount clashes.
Huge spiritual warfare. You know, your dad's been preaching this stuff in prophecy for decades, and now we're living it. We're looking right now at a 32-acre site, which the eyes of the whole world are on. Why? Why? Because terrorists hid weapons in the Temple Mount, took the weapons, and killed police officers. And the prime minister wanted to put up some security. So all the rage comes. It's not rational. It's a spiritual battle, principalities and powers and spiritual wickedness. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand the argument that there shouldn't be a weapons check at the Temple Mount. You would think that that would be the prudent thing to do.
Hello.
And from a Muslim point of view, to say that somehow it interferes with your prayer life, well, you have weapons checks at Mecca. I mean, it's the same thing. So, you know, why object just because it's in Israel?
You object because Satan said, I will sit on the mount of the congregation on the sides of the north. I will be like the Most High. This is a deeper battle than Muslims or Arabs. This is a battle with principalities and powers and spiritual wickedness that are gaming people.
What's the root of this? I mean, you go back to 67 when Israel took the Temple Mount. Why didn't they say, this is ours now?
Well, Mordecai Gur was a friend of mine. He's the guy that led the command. And you did a major movie on the story. Major movie on the story. In fact, as the guy that planted the flag, he's close to us. But here's what Arafat told me. When Arafat turned down the deal, remember when Bill Clinton was going to hand him a check and going to give him almost all he wanted? I said to him, why didn't you take it? He said, because when Abraham offered up Ishmael on the noble sanctuary, Allah blessed the sacrifice. That was the end of my conversation with him, and he walked away. And I thought, what did he just say? I went in the Quran and read it. It says in the Quran what Abraham offered up Ishmael, not Isaac, Ishmael, on the noble sanctuary. Allah blessed the sacrifice, which means it all belongs to us. The Jews have a title deed to nothing. Go back to Europe. It's all ours. It came through Abraham and Ishmael, no Isaac.
Okay. So the whole, we want to drive Israel to the sea. You can't have peace with Israel.
The Temple Mount is Mount Moriah, where Abraham offered up Isaac.
Right.
They said, no, he did not.
That's revisionist history. I mean, the whole Al-Aqsa, this is the farthest place. This is where Muhammad went on his night journey.
Yeah.
Well, there's his wife said he didn't go anywhere. He was with me the whole night. And then Al-Aqsa was never identified with Jerusalem until 1300 AD. It was well after, 600 years after,
100%.
Muhammad died. And the archaeology is clear. Al-Aqsa is a Byzantine church.
Exactly.
So if you want to say, Muhammad had to go to church before he went to heaven, okay. But it just doesn't. Why does the lie live? Because it's obvious to me, and should be obvious to anyone, either looking at the historical record or the archaeological record, that the Temple Mount was Jewish.
The father of lies lives. And he fathers those lies. I debated Hannah Ashwari. She was a spokesperson for the Palestinians in Madrid. And here's what she said. Bethlehem is the Muslim town where the first Palestinian Christian was born, Jesus Christ. I said to her, excuse me, Bethlehem is the Jewish town where the Jew, Jesus Christ, was born. And I said, and he was never a Christian. Now, I know that's hard when you're a Christian to hear that, but Jesus didn't need to be converted.
Right.
He was God. So she said to me, I resent your distortion of my reality. Don't try to confuse me with your facts. My mind is made up. Well, she just defined the whole Palestinian conflict. Don't confuse me with your facts. My mind is made up.
Another layer of this conflict that I think people don't understand is if you come to peace with Israel, and I think Arafat knew that.
Yeah.
If you come to peace, if you make a peace agreement, you will be killed.
100%. Look at the Palestinian believers, the price they pay. Where are they in Bethlehem?
No, they're gone. I visited Bethlehem back in the 1970s when it was under Israeli control and we had free access and there was a thriving Christian community in Bethlehem. When the Palestinian Authority takes over after the Oslo Accords, it completely changed. And what was a majority Christian city is now a majority Muslim city, and the Christians are less than 10%.
There was a mayor then, you probably knew him, Mayor Fridge. He was in Bethlehem back then, very wealthy guy. And he said to me, oh, it's so difficult, I'm under occupation, it's so painful. I'm so sorry, I said, you must have a very rough life. Oh no, I have a home in Paris, I have a place in here and there, I have lots of things, blah, blah, blah. But he said, I'm suffering, I'm under occupation, it's so difficult. I said, well, maybe it would be better if Jordan was here. No, I don't want Jordan, but I'm under occupation. Listen, the Israelis who live in Israel, the Arabs who live in Israel, built Friends of Zion. They were the guys that come in every day and workers, and I knew them, and I knew their families. They're happy people. They have homes, they have food. We're talking about Islam evangelizing Palestinians. When your dad began, the Palestinians were nationalists. They weren't Islamic fanatics. You have 3 states now. You have Gaza, an ISIS, Al-Qaeda state. Then you have the Fatah, the Ramallah, and then you have Israel. This is not solvable through politics, not solvable.
All right, let's talk about the Friends of Zion Museum. And I just applaud what you've done. This is absolutely marvelous. I encourage anyone that goes to Israel, you've got to go to the Friends of Zion Museum. It'll be a life-changing experience for you. What inspired you to do that?
Corrie ten Boom. When Corrie was alive, I met with her, and as your dad had, and I'm sure you had, but you were pretty young then.
I met her.
Still young.
I was a teenager, and she absolutely impressed me.
Amazing lady.
Very, very few people, their mere physical presence brings holiness.
Yeah. So she said to me, tell me your story over soup. I told her mine, and she told me her story. And I said, Corrie, do you have any prayer that hasn't been answered? Only one. Only one. The beige. Well, that was the house that she lived in. I wanted it to be a witness for the Lord. Well, it was purchased by somebody else and it was shut down. It wasn't a witness for the Lord. And then she told me another story. She told me about Ravensbrück. She told me on her birthday, she said, Jesus, it's my birthday. My father's dead. Betsy's dying. Do you have a gift for me, Jesus? And she said, the Lord spoke into my spirit and said, the gift is the 91st Psalm. The last verse. She said, I didn't look it up, Gordon, until she died. And I looked it up, and I realized she died at 91. She was, the same day she was born, April 15th, is the day she died. In Ravensbrück, the gift God gave her was 40 more years of life and ministry. The last verse is, with long life shall I satisfy you. That was the birthday gift for Corrie. I went to the beige. I said to the man, will you sell it? No. Can we pray? If you like. I prayed. He said, okay, I'll sell it. So we purchased everything back and opened it up, and I wanted to be part of the answer for Corrie's last prayer. Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing.
Now, Gordon, here's what happened. I saw Jewish people coming to the ten Boom crying and weeping. I met a lady, she said to me, my mother brought me and said to the old man, can you take us, he called it watches, can you fix 2 watches? The girl and the lady, me and my mother, he says, I must ask God. And she said, he goes back in the house. And I said to my mother, is God in the house? She said, I don't know. He comes back, he says, God says yes. So she said, I became a Jew in the ten Boom home. I wasn't a Jew. I was born a Jew, but I didn't know Hebrew. I never celebrated the Passover. I became a Jew in the ten Boom home. Now, I spoke at the induction of Casper and Betsy with the Israeli ambassador for Yad Vashem, and that woman was there weeping, telling me, I became a Jew in the ten Boom home. They saved my life. And I said, Anne Frank's story's told. Why doesn't anybody know about Corrie? So I said, I want to bring Corrie to Jerusalem. But then I realized, Gordon, there were so many other amazing stories. That was the inspiration for Friends of Zion.
That is quite an inspiration.
Yeah.
It's not many things you can say they have their foundation in Corrie ten Boom.
And by the way, it was a prayer meeting. You talked about the Jerusalem prayer team. Well, the ten Boom started a prayer meeting in 1844. Yes, to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. 1844. The day it ended, the 100th anniversary, was the day they raided the house and took them to the camps. The 100th, no prayer meeting in history has lasted 100 years in a home. Theirs did. And the Lord said, start it back. So I started their prayer meeting back, and now it's the Jerusalem prayer team with 26 million members.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've gone international with this.
Gordon, we have over 4.5 million in Indonesia, a Muslim country. 3.5 million in the Philippines. If you type in Israel's top Facebook, we're the #1 in the state of Israel. The number 7th is the Prime Minister, and the number 2 is Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman.
Wow.
A prayer group that came out of the ten Boom house.
I would have to say that's an absolute miracle.
Thank you, Lord. Yeah.
All right, what's next for you?
The vision that God's given me for the Friends of Zion Heritage Center has to do with Esther's vision. Esther had a vision to save the nation. The nation of Israel has many threats. There's some things they can address. If you just take, how does Israel fight ideological wars? Demons don't clear customs. How do you fight a war of ideas? Everything is going through social network. All the recruitment from terror is happening through social network. Now, what are believers doing in social network to battle darkness with light? God spoke to me, do it. Create a social network portal to battle darkness with light, to activate, to educate. Let's just talk about my son's generation, the millennials. The millennials are buying into a replacement theology, social justice myth, a lie. The same lie that's coming from the Temple Mount. We want them to have a biblical worldview. So we're going to use our communication center to educate, to activate the next generation. I'm not worried about my generation, your dad's, your generation, but that next generation, the enemy is telling them lies. And so we're Communication Center, Research Institute, Ambassador Institute, etc. It's a big campus called the Friends of Zion Heritage Center. By the way, we're training, the IDF's training their troops there. Gordon, in the last 8 weeks, there's been 3 people killed that came through Friends of Zion that are part of the IDF training program. They were killed in Jerusalem. I checked with our staff. Yes, they were part of the training program. They were killed by terrorists, all young people in the 20s.
All right. Well, we're out of time. If you want to go to the Friends of Zion Museum, you can also go to it online, and we'll have a link for you at cbn.com. Here's a word for you. For the whole law is fulfilled in one word. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. God bless you. We'll see you again.